We'll start your practice at the top of your mat, spreading your feet about the width of your mat, a little bit outside of the width of the shoulders. And just begin to roll your shoulder blades up, back, and down, starting to massage between the shoulder blades through the spine. Beginning to come into your breath. Good. Rooting down through the fingertips, all 10 fingertips. Begin to push your big toes down and lift all little toes up. Lift all toes up and then little toes down, big toes up. Switch, push just the big toe down and then just the little toes down. Starting to root into our feet, push big toes down and then just little toes down. And this is actually quite difficult and may take some practice. Lift all 10 toes, slowly start to curl one toe down at a time, spreading the toes wide and root into the earth. Evenly distributing the weight from the front of the foot to the back of the foot. Begin to sweep the fingertips over your head high, touch palms overhead, and then we're going to interlace all 10 fingers except for the pointer finger and lean gently over to the left and stretch out the right side body. Inhale, come back to center, slightly back bend, and exhale, start to lean to the right, stretching the left side body. Good. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Back to center, begin to take all 10 fingers interlaced behind the head, bend the knees and open the heart deeply. Take a deep breath in, open a little bit more, and as we exhale, curl over to the right. Begin to pull the elbows towards one another as you almost cat the back, arcing the back. And then inhale, begin to open the elbows, rolling the chest towards the left, and then all the way to the back. We're going to do that 2 more times. Open the heart. Exhale, begin to roll towards the right, moving the tailbone and the shoulder blades to begin to kind of barrel around in this cat-cow funky shape here. Open the heart. Exhale, curl around forward, keeping the knees bent. Inhale, open the elbows, roll open. Take a moment to pause to center, and we're going to reverse that. Exhale, rolling towards the left into the middle, open to the right. And inhale as you back bend. Exhale, curl elbows over to the left, to the middle, open to the right. Inhale to the back. One more time. Curl to the left. Beginning to move that tailbone a lot. And open up. Take a breath in. Hold to center. Bend the knees deeply. And then exhale. Begin to release the hands. Push the palms away from you. And then roll the wrists in little circles. Just beginning to warm up. Sink a little bit deeper into the knees for like a chair pose. And then inhale. Hands come to touch overhead. Exhale. Gently forward fold. Knees bend a lot here. Begin to inhale, halfway lift. Maybe hands come to shins for a long spine. Bend the knees deeply and peel your chest onto your thighs as you lower your forehead down towards the earth. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows for a ragdoll. So we'll stay really bent with the knees, but elongate the spine. And then begin to see if you can extend the legs a little bit longer as you sway softly from side to side. Feeling the weight move from right foot to left foot. Connecting into your breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe softly shaking your head yes. And then begin to shake it no. Releasing any tension that may be in the neck. And we'll gently release the hands to the floor. Inhale, find your halfway lift. And then exhale, gently forward fold. Bend the knees a lot and lightly step your left foot back. Hands are inside the right knee as we softly lower left knee to the earth. We're going to keep the hands rooted down, but as we start to shift our weight over to the left, we're going to open the right knee out. So rolling to the pinky toe edge of that right foot, we're going to kind of rock to the left and roll the pinky toe edge. Again, rock to the left, roll open. Okay, you may even connect this with an inhale and then an exhale as you come back in. We'll still the knee, lift the back knee up, and then start to round the back as you extend your right leg a little bit or a lot. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then inhale, pull the heart open as you sink low into like a lizard lunge. Open the chest, open the throat. Inhale, curl inward. And then exhale, as you rebend the knee, open the heart. Good. One more time. Exhale, curling in. And then inhale, opening the throat, opening the heart. Take a moment here and then softly rebend the left knee to the mat. So begin to pull your right toes up off the mat by extending that leg a little bit or a lot so the knee can stay very bent here. But start to pull that left hip forward and elongate your spine. Keep the hands rooted to the mat. We'll begin to sweep the right foot up and back, and then keep the foot lifted. As we pull our chest forward, we're going to lower all the way down to the mat in this funky push-up shape. And then begin to drop the foot all the way to the mat as you lower your tailbone to the earth. Big toe mounds stay pushed down. We're going to use the strength of the upper back to lift our hands up. So like a low cobra with no hands, lift up for 1 and then lower back down. Inhale, lift up for 2. And exhale, lower down, really feeling that back, pulling the heart up. And exhale for 3. Good. Gather up your core, press into your palms, lift back up into a half plank, and then tuck your toes and sit back into child's pose for a moment. So always remembering you could come here at any point. Good. Rolling forward to a modified plank, and then lift the knees up and back for our first downward facing dog. So spreading fingers wide. Take a breath in, lift the right leg high, and then we're going to exhale, pull the knee towards your chest and step towards the pinky finger wide. So right hand is inside of right knee. And then softly lower that left knee to the mat. This time spin your left foot off the edge. Keep your right palm down, but lift your left hand to the sky and open the heart deeply. Feeling a stretch of the inner thigh of the right leg and maybe even the ankle. Take a moment here just to breathe. And then as we exhale, we'll come up into this modified warrior 2 shape. So putting more weight on the left knee, get your right foot in a good position and then start to bend deeply forward. Keeping the chest up as high as you can, but really feeling that deep lunge stretch. And then as we extend our right leg out long, we'll reach our left hand to the back of your mat. Open your heart into a modified wild thing. Take a few breaths here, and then as we exhale, we're going to circle our right hand around in front of us as we tuck our left toes, sink back into like a half child's pose position with our right leg extended, trying to draw the pinky toe edge of that right leg down to stretch the outer right thigh. Good. We'll begin to maybe even walk hands towards the front of the mat to feel a nice opening along the left side of our body. Head can stay lifted and hips can stay lifted if you need it. Rebend into the right knee, center yourself to the front of your mat. Take a breath in, lift the back knee up, and exhale, we're going to step wide to the top of the mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chest sweeps your head up high, hands come to touch. Exhale, hands come all the way back down to the earth, Uttanasana. Forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, gently fold. Knees bend a lot here. We're going to lightly step our right foot straight back. Sink that right knee down to the earth. Take a moment. And we'll begin to place our palms down, roll to the pinky toe edge of our left foot, and kind of push your chest over to the right. Coming back to center. We're going to do that a couple of rounds. So just kind of pushing open and just listening to the hip. If it doesn't feel good to you, just kind of back off or stay still into the center and just enjoy the static stretch. But maybe beginning to link the movement with the breath, rolling open on an inhale and exhale, coming back to center. So as we begin to lift the right knee up, we're going to elongate the left leg and move the chin to the chest, almost curling that back up. And then as we rebend the left knee, open the heart. Exhale, elongate the leg, pull in, and inhale, rebend, open the heart, really moving fluidly. Exhale, pulling inward. And exhale, expanding outward. Take a moment here and then softly sink the right knee to the mat. We'll begin to stretch your left leg out a little bit or a lot by pulling the left toes towards you and squaring the right hip forward. Knee can stay very bent or it can become a little bit longer, but keep the chest up and wave the back out long. Good. Take one breath here, and then as we exhale, we're going to start to put the weight in our hands. Use the strength of the left hip to sweep that left foot up and back behind you. Coming to like a 3-legged plank, we're going to lower our chest and chin all the way to the mat. And then hips and toes lower to the earth. Begin to tent the fingertips to the outer edges of your mat. Elbows come to the sky. Inhale, lift your chest up high. Exhale, wave it back down. So listen to your back. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, lift up high. And exhale, wave back down. So if back bending doesn't feel good to your low back, just stay a little bit lower or still here. Exhale, wave back to the mat. Hands come back by rib cage. Keep your knees down, tuck the toes, lift up to a half plank, and then up and back into child's pose. So just take a moment here, wave forward into plank pose, and then lift knees into downward facing dog. Good. Spread the fingers wide. Begin to lift the left leg high to the sky, 3-legged dog, and then pull the knee to your chest and step to the pinky finger of the left hand. Sink your right knee to the mat, and as we spin our right foot over to the left edge of your mat, we'll begin to open our heart by reaching our right hand high to the sky. So maybe that left hand stays down, or it might have to come to a block or even to the thigh, but finding a place that feels like a good challenge, a good stretch for you. Breathe deeply into this, sink low, and then as we exhale, coming into like a modified warrior 2 shape. So take your time, get your foot placement where it feels comfortable for you, and then sink even deeper into that left knee. Think about pushing the outer left knee towards the outer left edge of that mat, really opening the hip into external rotation. And then as we exhale, we're going to drip our right hand behind us, open that left hand high to the sky, push the chest and the hips forward into a modified wild thing. And then begin to start to circle that left hand down and around, back toes tuck as we sit back into a funky little child's pose shape, maybe letting the forehead come all the way down, but keeping the pinky toe edge of that left foot towards the earth. Stay here if it feels good to you. Walk your hands towards the front of your mat where that foot is and start to feel a really deep opening along the right outer shoulder and right rib cage. Chest can stay lifted, hips can stay lifted. Good. Take one more breath here, and as we exhale, we'll begin to rebend that left knee, walk our hands to the front of our mat, square your chest, lift the back knee up. Use the strength of the core to step that right foot to the top of the mat. Feet are wide. Hands come to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Place your right hand in the center of the mat, and then take your left hand to your waist. Bend the knees a lot to keep the back long, but start to spin your gaze over the left shoulder a little bit or a lot. Left hand can stay at the waist, or if it feels good, reach your left hand up high to the sky so that the back of the hand is in line with the back of the body. Begin to elongate the left leg a little bit or a lot, and maybe right knee bends even deeper. Feel that along the outer edge of the left thigh. Good. Rebend the knees, place your left hand into the center of the mat, and take your right hand to your waist. Bend the knees a lot. Keep the back long. Back stays long first and foremost. If that feels okay, maybe reach the right hand up high to the sky, palm facing the front of the body. Extend the right leg a little bit or a lot by bending the left knee a little bit deeper and feeling that through the IT band, the iliotibial band, through the side of the leg, maybe all the way down into the pinky toe edge of the foot. Good. Inhale, place the hands on the mat, take a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, begin to lift the chest, sweep fingertips overhead high, and then draw your hands towards heart center into mountain pose. Interlace all fingers except for the pointer finger in a mudra, hand gesture. As you point the fingers straight forward, parallel to the earth, roll the shoulder blades back and make sure the toes are set wide. Take a breath in as you lower down into like a little mini squat position, and exhale, come back up. Inhale, sink a little bit lower. Exhale, come back up. Good. Trying to keep those heels down if you can. Inhale, sink lower, chest stays up. Exhale, come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, sink low. Exhale, drive up tall. And then on this last one, we'll inhale, sink low, and hold here. Bring your hands to heart center. See how low the hips can get towards the ground as you pull your chest up. Good. Take a breath in and take a breath out. We'll begin to push our left elbow into the inner left knee a little bit more and start to reach our right hand up high to the sky. So it's okay if the left heel is coming off the mat a little bit, but try to ground the right heel down. Open the heart and take a few breaths. And then come back to center, push that right elbow in towards the right knee, and as we lift that left hand to the sky, That right heel might lift a little bit, but keep that left heel planted if you can. Good. Back to center. Take a moment. Gather up the core. Find that mudra. Point the pointer finger forward. Use the strength of the legs to stand back up tall. Heel toe feet towards one another. Inhale, circle hands up high. It's okay if you fall like I do. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step into a plank position and softly lower to the mat. Inhale, find your lower high cobra as big toe mounds stay onto the earth. And exhale, wave back to the mat. Tuck your toes, knees or toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, prepare. Take a big step towards the front of the mat, or little steps if you need to. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So cycling through some sun A's here. Inhale, sweep hands high overhead. And exhale, gently forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step into plank pose. Maybe this time we lower halfway down into chaturanga. Inhale, if it's available, find upward facing dog, keep the eyes off the mat. Exhale, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Inhale, begin to look to the top of your mat and prepare. As we exhale, bend the knees, maybe take a big step with your opposite leg that you did last time. And we'll meet at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep hands overhead high. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, maybe lightly hop into chaturanga. And then inhale, finding your upward facing dog. Just an option there if you want more of a challenge. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath in, take a breath out. And as we inhale, we'll begin to look to our hands. We're going to exhale, walk or step our feet very wide to the pinky fingers, kind of landing in that little mini squat position. Inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead high. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Toes are pointed out. Find that hand gesture, that mudra. Point the fingers forward. Roll shoulder blades back. Inhale, sink low to squat, and exhale, come back to stand. Inhale, sink low. Exhale, come back to stand. Inhale, sink low. Exhale, stand. Inhale, sink low. Exhale, stand. On this last one, we're going to inhale, hold it at the bottom. Place your hands at heart center. Pull your chest up a little bit more. Push that left elbow into left knee. Open the right hand high. And if it's available, start to spin the palm to the back and take the top of your right hand to the small of the back. Open the chest. Maybe even the left hand comes towards the mat, and then as you sweep the thumb back and around, maybe you can try to grab a hold of each hand behind the back so that left elbow is still on the front of the left knee. Open the heart. Remember, the left foot can be popped up just a little bit, but keep that right foot down. Circle the left hand back to the mat, open the chest, and then find center here. Take a moment, press the right elbow into the thighs. We reach our left hand high and stay there, or maybe take the top of the left hand to the small of your back. Open the heart. If that still feels okay, reach your right hand straight in front of you and then sweep that thumb around and back so that the top of the right hand is coming to the right hip. And then maybe you can clasp for the full arm bind behind the back. Again, that right foot can be popped up a little bit, but keep the left foot grounded down. Take a breath. And then exhale, begin to softly release the hands, sweep back to heart center. And then we'll find that little hand gesture, pointer finger forward, pull the heart up, stand tall, heel toe feet towards one another. Inhale, reach your hand up high, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk, step, or hop through your next vinyasa. Find plank pose, lowering down, and inhale into a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Open the right hip by stacking the right hip on top of the left, bending the right knee, and just find your breath here. Good. Drawing that left heel towards the earth, feeling a huge calf stretch. Spot the top of your mat and step your right foot to the pinky of the right hand. Open the heart, sink that left knee low. And you can stay here, or maybe seeing if you can lower the elbows to blocks or all the way to the floor. So beginning to roll to the pinky toe edge of the right foot wherever you are, and kind of leaning to the left if that feels available. Good. We'll take a couple of rounds of that. Maybe inhale, open. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. And then if it's available, hands or elbows, we're going to lift the back knee up. Feel a big stretch of the front of the left hip. Softly lower your left knee back to the mat. If you're not already there, come back to hands. Lift your back knee up, and as we straighten the right leg out, pull your chin to your chest. Rebend the right knee, pull the heart open, sink low. Exhale, curl chin to chest, elongate the right leg. Bend knee, pull heart open. Stretch leg out long one more time, and then bend knee. Use the core, pull the knee up and the heel up into three-legged dog. Maybe keep the foot lifted as we wave forward to a three-legged plank. Exhale, lowering down, and then inhale both feet to the mat as we find our back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. On your next breath in, lift your left leg high. Bend the left knee, stack the left hip on top of the right. Right heel draws towards the floor, feeling a very big calf stretch in the right leg, opening that left hip. Start to spot the top of the mat, and we'll take our left foot to the pinky of our left hand, opening the knees wide. Good. Sink that right knee low, making space in the heart. Pull the heart forward, stay on hands, or maybe elbows come to a block or the floor. We're trying to keep that back nice and long here, not arcing up a lot. Roll to the pinky toe edge of the left foot as you lean away. Good, we'll do that 2. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, open, 3. Exhale, center. 4. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. And 5. Inhale, open. Exhale, come back to center. Good. Stay there. Hands or elbows, we're going to lift the back knee up. Feel a big stretch in this lizard lunge. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, softly take the right knee back to the earth. Good. Place your hands back onto the mat. We'll tuck our right toes underneath us, elongate our left leg, pull your chin to your chest on an exhale. As we inhale, rebend the left knee, pull your heart open. Exhale, elongate the left leg, pull chin to chest. Inhale, rebend the knee, open the heart. Exhale, leg comes long, pull in, and inhale, open the chest. Good. Pull that heel up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Wave forward to three-legged plank. As we exhale, keep the foot lifted, and as we inhale, both feet to the mat into your back bend. Exhale, find downward facing dog wherever you are. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Inhale, look to the top of the mat, prepare. We're going to step our feet wide or hop our feet wide to the top of the mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift, and exhale, gently fold. Good. Take a breath. Inhale, sweep your hands high overhead. Exhale, forward fold all the way back down. Inhale, find your halfway lift, and as we exhale, we're going to start to pull our elbows inside of our knees and try to get our knees up as high as we can on our shoulders. So maybe take your hands to your ankles and try to pull your chest through as much as you can. So right here, we might want to go ahead and grab our blocks to put right behind both ankles as we move into different shapes of Firefly. So moving into an arm balance, this one can be quite intense. We're just going to try to get the shape here first. So bend the knees a lot and then extend the legs out as much as you can. Just taking a few rounds to see how that position feels. So when you're ready, place your hands in front of you. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your hands high, find a slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, fold, bend the knees a lot. Again, we're going to take our hands to our ankles to help pull our chest back and through. Getting the knees up as high as you can on those shoulders. It almost feels insane how big of a stretch this is, but just listen to your body. So hands can start to come to blocks, or maybe they start to come even to the floor. And this might be where we stay, but if you're ready, we're going to start to sink our hips low as we lift our gaze up and then come back up to stand. Good. Inhale, sink our hips low, pull our gaze up, maybe even feet start to float up off the mat. So think about your body as a seesaw. If my hips lower, my head has to lift up, my feet have to lift up. Good. So squeezing your knees into your upper arms. Maybe see if you can hug your feet together and just balance on your hands. And it's okay if you sit back on your bum. I do it all the time still. Good. Play there for a little bit. You can pause the video, but when you're ready, come forward, find a halfway lift, and exhale, gently fold. Inhale, sweep your hands high, find a little back bend, and exhale, fold. So attempting to find a full firefly this time. We'll inhale, find our halfway lift. Exhale, pull our hands through, find our ankles, pull the knees up onto the shoulders as much as we can, hands to blocks or to the floor. Squeeze your knees in as we sink our bum low, lift our gaze, maybe lift our feet. Now, try to hold your balance here as your knees start to extend, pull your toes up long. Now, your elbows can be really bent for a little bit more easier version of this, but if you feel comfortable, extend your elbows to lift your feet up high. So one requires a little bit more balance and strength, and one requires a little bit more flexibility. So again, feel free to pause the video and play there. But when you're ready, we're going to come into a squat pose and just counter stretch. So just relax here for a moment. Maybe start to let your right ear roll to right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder, and then roll chin to chest, right ear back over. Just kind of circling out the neck. Place hands on the mat, step into a plank position. We'll lower to a Vinyasa, exhale. Inhale, find your upward facing dog or maybe a lower high cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And take a breath in and take a breath out. Inhale, right leg high. We're coming to pigeon pose. So take your right knee through to your thumbs. Square your hips forward. And then when you're ready, begin to lower to your elbows. Take a moment. Untuck the back toes. Feel free to stay here or find a different variation of pigeon that feels good to you. We're going to take a little quad stretch if it feels available. So place your left forearm on the ground, but look over the right shoulder. Reach your right hand back and see if you can grab for that left foot. Pulling the left heel towards you gently so that we're not overstretching the front of the left thigh, but just getting a nice, easy stretch. Good. When you're ready, simply find a forward fold that feels good to you and surrender into the stillness and the quiet. We'll take a breath in as we lift our gaze. We'll place our hands on the mat. Tuck your back toes. Shake the right leg out into downward facing dog. Walk the feet out for just a moment. And then we'll take pigeon on the left side by lifting the left leg high and then pull your left knee through to your thumbs. Softly sinking down into pigeon stretch. Lower to the forearms if it feels available. Square the hips forward. You could stay here and simply find your fold, or maybe taking a quad stretch. We're going to place our right forearm on the mat as we reach our left hand back, spin over the left shoulder with your gaze. Reach your left hand towards the right foot and then gently pull that right foot towards you, feeling a nice thigh stretch on the front of the right leg. Take a few moments here. And then as we exhale, we'll gently release the foot to the mat and find your forward fold. So if the hips don't like pigeon, you can always come into a supine figure 4 shape. That might feel better on the back and the hips. But just finding your breath here, starting to quiet the mind, thinking about turning down a volume knob on the thoughts that are wandering into your mind. Just quiet them down. Focus on your breath. And then on our next breath in, we'll lift our gaze, tuck the back toes, shake the left leg out, maybe walk in place in downward facing dog. And then we'll gently come down onto our shins, cross our ankles, come to easy seat. Scooting forward a little bit or a lot, we'll grab the backs of the legs and roll down till the whole back is on the mat. Knees are bent, arms spread wide. Stretch your right leg out long and pull your left knee into your chest as we roll the left knee across our body. Maybe our right hand rests on that right knee as we look to our left palm for a spinal twist. Maybe close the eyes, make this very passive and relaxed, just melting into the earth. The hard work is done. Just begin to receive the benefits of your practice. Gently come back to center, stretch your left leg out long, pull right knee to chest, and then as we roll our right knee towards the left edge of our mat, we'll place our left hand gently on top of the right knee and maybe look to our right palm. As eyes float to a close, we melt into the ground. And gently come back to center. We'll stretch both feet out long into our final resting pose, our full Savasana. Palms face the sky, feet drip open, and take a moment of stillness and quiet. And then we'll begin to reach our hands overhead long, stretch your toes long, and then roll to the right side of your body. Rest here on your mat for a moment. Maybe taking this as an opportunity to say thank you for something in your life, a moment of gratitude. But when you're ready, we'll gently meet an easy seat together. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. We'll place our hands to our heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.